Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 11 here on Bloomfield with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, we're picking up right where we left off last episode. As you may recall, we had just cleaned up our gear and put it away from the potato harvest, and TFS had wanted us to help with that canola harvest today, and in fact he has called again and he was heading out to the field. So we better not waste any time and get down there to his place to help him out. He said he has the tractor and trailer hooked up and waiting for us in the yard. And he said that the easiest way to get to the field was actually to come around on the road. Obviously, he's got that big cornfield that's got him in the way, so that was a good tip there. If we keep an eye out, we should probably see him running over here on the right hand side, I would imagine, because his field comes right out to this lane. Yep, there he is there. You can see him off to the right. Well, we better not waste any more time. I will meet you down at TFS's place and we'll get that tractor picked up. Well, there it is, set up just like he said it would be. Looks like he even has a sunroof open for us. Very gentlemanly like. Well, we better not waste any time. Well, it's a little tricky coming out of this yard with his hedges here. Don't think he'd be too impressed if we got his tractor ran into. Man, it is a difficult approach. At some point, you just gotta close your eyes and go for it, it seems like. And I see what he means. It is easier to come around this way because there's this field right there, so we can just cut across right here. Oh, and there he is, right down here at this end of the field. How very convenient. You know what? I think we'll let him get turned around, and we'll run beside him and pick up whatever he's got on there. Oh, looks like he's at least half full, I'd say. I wonder if he gets enough canola off this little strip for his pigs. I imagine he does. He probably has it down to a science, I imagine. He's not doing a very good job there. We might need to invest in a new pair of glasses for old TFS. He's leaving some bits there. Maybe he doesn't have things down to a science. Oh, there. But that's certainly enough that he can probably finish up, I would think. So now it's a case of hurry up and wait. But that's 8,600 liters there. Alright, well, we'll wait for him to finish and we'll get him offloaded. So I'll catch up with you then. Well, there he's ready for us to unload him for the last time here. He did go back and clean up those little pieces, as you can see. A little over 12,000 liters. Well, we're supposed to take this and dump it in the food production building. So we'll do that. That's just a short little shot. That was pretty uneventful, not too exciting, but that's just a practice run for when we do the corn. That'll certainly be more involved. There we go. Guess we don't need the beacons on anymore. Well, that was pretty easy and all done before noon. I guess we can probably get working on our grass. I think we'll just park this up over here. I'm not sure if he's going to want to wash it up or not. We'll just put it back kind of where we found it. And we'll wait for him to get back in the yard with the combine. We'll have a quick chat with him about those pigs. And then we'll head back to our place and probably start on our grass. So we'll catch up with you then. Well, we're back here at our farm. And as you can see, I've got the old farm all out. And I've got the mower hooked to it. And I thought there was no reason not to use the farm wall for this. It's a beautiful day to take advantage of our panoramic cab that we have. Oh, look at that. While we were off helping TFS, the farmer was here and harvested this field and limed it. Oh, we missed all that action around home. Oh well. Yeah, there's no, there's no advantage to using the John Deere. I mean, this old farm mower is particularly well suited to this piece of equipment, our mower here. And like I say, beautiful day and it's not dusty work, so no reason not to use the old farm mower. But not to worry, I'm not going to make you sit through all of this hay work again. You've seen me do this with this small equipment once already. That's probably more than enough. But I did have a couple things I wanted to mention, so I thought I might as well be working on this while I was yakking. I asked TFS about the canola, and he said that with that 12,000 liters of canola, it's enough for him to be able to make 60,000 liters of pig food, which is more than enough to meet his needs, he says. So that was interesting. And speaking of pigs, he has some pigs that could go to a new home. They're a month old now, and so he said we can pick those up really anytime we want. And in fact, we could also come down and pick up a wagon load of pig food. So that's something that we can do this month. But first we need to get our pen cleaned out. So I think that'll be our next task after we get our hay taken care of. Which, if I recall, will probably kill the rest of this day, I imagine, by the time we get this baled. Like I said, I will get this baled up, and once I do have it baled, I'll bring you back in, because we'll be doing something different, because I think we'll definitely be loading with our own tractor, but also I'm hoping I can have our own trailer by then that we can use, so we can sell directly. Probably have to phone around and see if Neil needs hay, or if Sims wants it, or if we just sell it on through Ben. Well, we'll figure that out once I get the baling done. So once we're at that point, I'll bring you back in. So see you in a little bit. Well, there, I managed to get the field baled. It is almost 6 o'clock, and I'll tell you, I've been racing the rain that's coming, and it was a pretty sloppy windrowing job, I have to admit, because I couldn't spend the time like I did last time. This windrowed it up good enough to get her baled. And now for the moment of truth, I didn't have time with the rain and all coming to do anything about a trailer. And I really don't want our bales getting rained on, so what I'm going to do, I don't have any other place to put them. I'm just going to stack them in the shed for now until we can get them sold, and that way we can say they've never been rained on. See if our pallet forks are going to work for this, or if we need to get a bale spike. Well, not the best. We might need to invest in a bale spike to do this properly, but the tractor handles it no problem, which is good news. I was a tiny bit concerned about that, but we can just throw a rear weight on to fix that up. So we'll get these stacked in the shed. Like I said, it's supposed to rain in about an hour, so I have just enough time, I think, to get that done. And that will be a day. Oops. That wasn't too good. I mean, we don't need to be too particular. They're not going to sit in here very long. Be gone tomorrow or the day after, I presume. Because I imagine, if nothing else, Sims will take them again. Just we won't have to give up 10% if we get our own trailer. But I think we will invest in a bale fork for moving these around in the future. Alright, well, I'll get the rest of these moved in out of the rain. Well, there we go. Got our hay bales under cover and our equipment all in the shop. This really is a nice spacious shop, I'll tell you. You probably wouldn't normally store your hay bales in your shop, but we don't have another option. But I think what the wife and I are going to do is we are going to start a fire back here in our fire pit, sit around, maybe have an adult beverage and a hot dog on a stick, and enjoy a nice fall evening here on the farm. And we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. It's time for a little R&R. I think we've earned it here today. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, good morning. I finished my breakfast and had some coffee and have been on the phone. But before I talk about that, remember we were going to have a fire? Yeah. I forgot about the weather forecast. So I just nicely got the fire started, and thunderstorm blew in, and that was the end of that. But what we did, we enjoyed our adult beverage here on the patio. It only took about an hour for the thunderstorm to blow over, and we got to have our fire and our wiener roast. But so we still had a pleasant evening. But I've been talking to Ben, and when I called him, I was actually looking for a gooseneck trailer like Sims was using when he was down here hauling the bales. But got kind of just chatting generally with Ben, and he said he had some ideas he'd like to show us, and to give him some time. And he thought he had some something that would be more useful to us than that gooseneck trailer, and for us to head down there after lunch and he'd show us. So we will do that. And when we go, we might as well take these products. We have a couple pallets of sugar in the shop, and some potatoes and french fries ready here, so we'll take those down as well. So this morning I was doing some research, and what I wanted to know, were we better off to fertilize our grass this fall after we cut it, or wait till spring? And from what I was able to find online, actually after you cut it in the fall, it is a really good time to fertilize. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go and throw some slurry on here. I'll grab it from TFS again. I'm not going to show that to you. I've showed them a couple times at least already, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. That should take us up to lunchtime or a little after when I get that done, and we can head down to see Ben about that trailer and see what he's got up his sleeve. I haven't talked to Neil or Sims yet about the hay, so I need to do that. But I'm going to get onto this slurrying business, and I'll call them when I get that done and see if we can sell that hay off. So I will see you guys in a little bit. There we go. Got the slurry put on the field. I used 3 additional tanks on top of what we already had left in our tank. So I sent 300 bucks to TFS. And I've loaded up our products here, and we'll head down to the shop to check out what Ben has to say. So I'll catch up with you down there. Well, here are the trailers that Ben wanted to recommend. He said there's nothing wrong with that gooseneck trailer, and he can certainly get one. But he said the issue with that is then we can only use it with the truck, where something like this is a little bit more versatile. We can use with the truck and the tractor. He does have one that's just a straight like flat deck trailer we could use as a bale trailer. This guy here, he said it's about $7,000. Both these trailers have a facility on the back so you can put it, tow something else behind it, another trailer or so forth. But what he thought would be the best solution is this trailer here, because it's kind of modular. As you can see, it comes apart. We can take these sides off, and then we've got a flat deck trailer. But if we put these sides on, we can also haul bulk materials with it. And but this is a bit more money. This is about $15,000 for this trailer. But he said if we could afford it, that would be a good way to go, and he would give us a good deal on trade-in on our little trailer. He heard through the grapevine that had a lot of fun carting those potatoes. Gotta love a small town. Everybody knows your business. So, but I do appreciate that. That's probably not a bad solution. That'll take a pretty good bite out of our bank account again. We just got it up. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we settled up on the products. Got just over $3,000. So that takes us up to $28,400 is where we're sitting at. So 15 would cut that in less than half again. Although, like he said, he would give us take our other trailer on trade. He says he can sell those pretty easy. The other thing he wanted to talk to us about involves this here. But let's jump in the truck and I'll show you what I mean. Catch up with you in just a second. Well, we're just down the road a little piece from Ben's shop. You can actually see it there on the other side of the gas station. And what he wanted to talk to us about was this field here. He just recently purchased it, and it has grass in it. And he was looking to partner with someone to do the grass work on here, and wanted to know if I'd be interested. And I said I would, but that I had pretty small equipment. And he came back with, well, what else have I got to do with my time anyway? And I thought, where have we heard that before? I think I found out the source of his intelligence. I think he's been talking to my wife because she has that same attitude. But anyways, the only kind of fly in the ointment was he wanted to do silage bales on here. And I said, well, I have no way of making silage bales. And that's where that baler I pointed out in his yard comes into, is it's a baler wrapper, and he said we could use that, but the rest was up to us. So all right. And I mentioned to him about throwing some slurry on here this fall to improve yield, and he said yeah, he was fine with that, and he split the cost of doing that, but not to put too much effort into it, because once we get the cutoff in the spring, he's got other plans for this a particular plot of land, so it'll have some other things going on here, so it'll just be probably a couple of cuts off here. So I think we'll go ahead, we'll do that. That'll give us a little extra income, and that helps make the decision on which trailer to go with. Based on that, I think we can probably afford to go with that little better trailer, but I'm going to go and chat with the wife, and I'm going to hook on to our old trailer and bring it down. He's going to take a look at it, like he said, to give us a good deal on trade. So I will do that, and we'll meet back up at Ben's store with our old trailer. So see you there. Well, we did the deed. So this trailer is now ours. I also threw in the back here 4 more bags each of seed and lime and a bale fork. So after I spent all that money, that takes us to 16,183, down from what was it, 28.4. So not so bad. We got what, $4,500 or something like that for our other trailer. So can't complain about that at all. So, and the wife was quite happy to spend the money. I think it makes a big difference that we actually have some income coming into the farm, you know, not just going out one way. She's quite enthusiastic about expanding and moving the farm forward. So that's all good news. So it's getting near the end of the day here. It's going to be getting dark fairly soon. So I'm going to head back to the farm. I'll get this stuff unloaded. I'll throw that trailer into the shop and I'll get the sides off it so we can load up some bales tomorrow. So we'll catch up with you in the morning. See you then. Well, good morning and welcome back to the farm. It's the next day, as you can see. I did talk last night with both Neil and Sims regarding the hay. As suspected, Neil doesn't need any extra hay right now, but Sims said he would take it and pay us the going rate if we were going to deliver it, so we will do that. So I went and I put our trailer in bale hauling mode. Basically just means I remove the sides and the end gate. So I'm hoping we can get all 6 of our bales on here. So we'll get on that. Now, I did spear one bale here already with the John Deere. Just wanted to make sure our bale forks were going to work okay, that there wasn't something special about these bales that were going to cause us problems, but it seems like it's going to be just fine. Because I really haven't had any issue using spearing bales with pallet forks before. Although I know it's not the done thing. Now, unfortunately, we have those 2 posts for that hold the sides here in the back we have to deal with, but I think we can make it work. Now we'll just use a little bit more here. We'll just use the next bale to push that one ahead. Let's see if I can push it ahead like that. I gotta make sure That's a little awkward with that, with those posts still being there, but hey, it's going to be nice to have that 9,000 liter capacity when it comes to, oh, look at that, that can go ahead a little ways further yet. When it comes to hauling potatoes next time, three times the capacity of our other trailer. I'm just going to see if I could nudge this one in square. Yeah, that's just not gonna work. We'll kind of spear that near the top. Maybe even just with those bottom spikes there. Honestly, it doesn't want to go into that bale very good. Oh, I guess we have to spear it more in the middle. I mean, when we can afford to have a dedicated bale trailer and a dedicated carting trailer, it will be better, but this is hauls more bales than we could with the other one, that's for sure. Oh, get it lined up here so my bucket's in the middle. Let's put it on top of those instead. There we go. Well, not perfect, but I'll be able to get those other bales in there, or on there I should say. So I'll go ahead and get those loaded, and I'll bring you back in when we get ready to head down to Sims's place. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, there, we got them on the trailer, no problem at all. I even managed to tidy up the stacking a little bit when no one was watching. It was easier. No pressure that way. Alright, let's take these down to Sims's place and get them offloaded. I will meet you there. Well, Sims asked if we would unload these for him. He was kind of tied up with something. He said we could just put them right here into the appropriate bin here at the cow barn. And I certainly don't mind taking the opportunity to run this piece of gear. It's a pretty nice unit, this little Kubota skid steer. Oh no, there it went. For a second there I thought it was going to take bales. Now I think if we come at this just right, we should be able to get both of these on here. Line up right in the middle. Oh, shit, I forgot those were on the other way. Forgot about that. Well, it was a good plan. I don't know if I can reach across and grab that motherfucker on the other side. Well, he's got quite a pile of manure sitting there. Now these ones we should be able to get two at a time, I'm thinking. Yeah, no problem for this little cart. short work of that. Quicker to unload than it was to load. So I think what we're going to work on now is Ben's project. And we'll probably mow with the farm all, even though it is a slow run down to that field on the road with the farm all, but it just is a good tractor for that job. So I'll get set up and we'll start on that. Actually, I probably will bring you back in when I'm ready to bale. Is when I'll bring you back, because the mowing and windrowing is nothing new. So we'll see you at baling time. Well, you can see I have this field all mowed and windrowed. But if you have a keen eye, you will notice we're actually on the following day, the 6th in the morning. Now, it didn't take me all day to do this field, but when you added this section to it, it did. I had this area all done and was ready to start baling, and I just went and asked Ben if he would mind if I dumped the bales over on this side here, just so I didn't have to wait for them to be picked up. I could get slurry on there right away. And he decided, you know what, maybe we should just mow this as well and bale it up. This is basically his backyard here. That's Ben's house right over there, that gray house with the Kubota sitting there that you can see off in the distance. The only thing he did ask was that we don't slurry this area, because it is essentially his backyard. He doesn't want to smell that, so fair enough. But we will dump all the bales in here. Now, we did get paid from Sims for our hay. We got $4,750 for that. So that brings us up to $21,242. So that takes us just about to where we were before we bought that trailer. We were at 25,000 and something. Of course, there is a little bit of my wife's income in there. There always is. She's always adding a little bit to the kitty. But we are now ready to bale all this up. But you know, we might have an issue. I'm not sure if our little John Deere here is going to have enough horsepower to pull that baler. But you know what? We're going to have to find that out on the next episode, because I checked and we are out of time. I was planning on doing this baling this episode, but there's just no time for it. So a little bit of a cliffhanger. So if you want to know if the John Deere will pull that baler, you're going to have to come back and find out. Anyway, if you're still with me, I really appreciate watching. If you found it entertaining or informative anyway, man, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. Feel free to comment too if you wish. If you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode here on Bloomfield, it's Farmer Murphy signing off. Till next time.